Welcome to the Shed and Shine podcast. I am Gino Wickman. This is where Rob Dubé and I help driven entrepreneurs shed their shit, free their true selves, unlock true entrepreneurial freedom, and shine. We truly appreciate you taking the time to spend with us, and we hope to make a huge impact on you.
Hello and welcome back. This episode I call 3 Things to Make You Go, Huh. And so if you've been listening to previous episodes, every once in a while, there's an episode where I have 2, 3, 4 topics that aren't long enough to fit into a full episode, and I save them up. And here we go. We're going to take them one at a time. This first topic I call true freedom. And where this came from is last week I was in a Starbucks and I was thinking about and pondering freedom and the word freedom. And that's a really important word, obviously, because that's what we're all about here at the 10 Disciplines, is helping you to free your true selves. And we are constantly working on freeing our true selves. And it's why Rob and I wrote the book Shine. And it's the end game of learning those 3 discoveries and implementing those 10 disciplines in your life. And as I was pondering freedom and freeing your true self, I started to go deeper into the thought. And I thought about true freedom. And so the words true freedom came to me. And when I talk about true freedom and I think of true freedom, it's deeper and it's further beyond money freedom and time freedom and relationship freedom, which are all great and important and a wonderful goal, destination, evolution. But now I want to take you a little deeper beyond those types of freedom and into, again, what I call true freedom. And with this aha, it led me to writing a poem there in Starbucks, and I want to share that poem with you. Now, a few episodes ago, I shared a poem with you that I wrote at 29 years old. I want to prepare you that I don't plan on reading you a poem every other episode, and that's just simply my ego and my insecurities kicking in, thinking about what maybe you're thinking and maybe fearing some judgment. But nonetheless, this came to me in a flash, and I want to share with you what it was. And so here's what came to me. I call this poem True Freedom. And here we go. May I ask you, my friend, are you really and truly free? If not, you aren't alone. You're the same as me. You might even believe that freedom is measurable, that enough money, enough time, enough things make life pleasurable. It's deeper than that, so much more to the story. Grasp this, escape the prison, and experience all of your God-given glory. The truth is complex and completely unmanageable because you can't touch it, can't see it. It's amorphous and intangible. Go deeper inside, beneath fortune, fame, and things. Look inward, not outward, to find the metaphorical golden rings. Go deeper and deeper and deeper within, where you find nothingness, the kingdom, the peaceful win. Call it soul, spirit, true self, or nothing at all. It doesn't need a name. It's always been there, trapped behind the wall. When you find it, you will float, you will sing, and you will soar. You will see the truth, the illusion, your ego's prison door. After you first see it, eventually the walls will come down, but first it will be painful, hard to believe, you will frown. And once you see it, the illusion, life as it really is, what is true. You are free, my friend. You can now receive all that is waiting for you. You might think it's fortune, fame, or all the stuff. It will be whatever your soul desires once you realize you're enough. So just let go, shed it all, and you will see the abundance that will come when you stop chasing and just be. At this point, you will be operating from the inside out, when your calling will come and you'll realize what life is all about. You are now elevated from judgment, fear, attachment, and shame. Time to become what you came here to be and help others do the same. And so there it is. I hope that pinged your soul and made you go, huh. On to number 2. This one I call solving overwhelm in 15 minutes. So I'll start with a question. Have you ever felt overwhelmed? And what I'm about to share with you, this solution I have done with family members, I have done with friends, I have done with clients, and I have certainly done it with myself very often. And in saying that, it's a very simple exercise that is so simple, it's mind-boggling the effect that it has had for people and for me. And so I'm just going to share the exercise with you. And here's how it works. When you are feeling overwhelmed, all you do is find a place to sit and write. I highly recommend that you physically write with a pen and paper. It's very, very powerful and much more effective. And you just simply sit and you write everything that's on your mind, everything that's going on, everything that's overwhelming you. And so again, when I'm sitting with a client, a friend, a family member, and they're telling me about their overwhelm, I literally grab my legal pad, my pen, I hand it to them, and I tell them to start writing. And I sit there for 5 to 10 minutes while they're writing quietly and just let them write and write and write and write. And again, for me, I do it, sitting in a Starbucks or wherever I am. I just list everything. And then once you've listed everything on your mind, the next step is to pour over it. Just pour over everything that you wrote. Now, what's funny is you're going to start to feel an instant release and instant relief once you're finished writing everything. But the next step is to absolutely pour over it and just start making some notes, because there's some things that you just have to make a simple little plan. There's some things that you just quickly need to solve, but just stay over it, pour over it, stay with it, and take as much time as you need. This is typically all done in 15 minutes, but sometimes it's 30 minutes, and sometimes it can go as long as an hour. But on average, it's about a 15-minute exercise until you feel that relief, or when you feel that relief. So then simply capture any notes, put anything that you need to in your one place, calendarize anything. When that is done, again, 100% of the time when I take people through this exercise, they absolutely, you can see it in their face. They go from that overwhelmed look to this look of peace and relief and clarity, and the overwhelm just absolutely disappears. And so really simple exercise. Urge you to do that for yourself and others in your life. You might have direct reports. They have that overwhelmed look on their face. Throw them a legal pad and a pen right there on that spot, and you will instantly solve their problem. And on to number 3. This one I call the 3 components of happiness. Now, this is an actual real thing. You can Google this and you can find this online, and there's different variations of it. But I've heard my dad share these 3 things for decades, and I've heard it varying different ways. But I heard it recently in the last 7 days said a little bit different, and it prompted something for me. And when it prompted it, it was 3 a.m. last night. And so I woke up for some reason with this thought, and I just am compelled to share it with you. And so the 3 components of happiness, the most common 3 you're going to find out there is, number 1, having something to do. Number 2, having something to look forward to. And number 3, having someone to love. Okay? And so again, the 3 components of happiness: something to do, something to look forward to, someone to love. And I think those are profound, and they make so much sense. And if everyone had those 3 things, you would certainly think that would lead to a lot of happiness in this world. And so with that, it's number 3 that was my aha last night at 3 a.m. because number 3 says someone to love. Well, another variation of that, and the way that I heard it yesterday, was someone to love you. And I've never heard it said like that. And it gave me pause. So I'm going back and forth. Someone to love. So that feels giving and generous and humble. Someone to love you feels selfish and maybe weird, but at the same time, I think we all want to be loved. I know I want to be loved. I admit it. Hopefully you will too. So that seems like that would make me pretty happy if, I had someone that loved me. I believe we all want to be unconditionally loved for who we are. And so again, I'm doing this ping pong ball match in my head. Which one leads to happiness? And here's what I woke up with, okay? So, someone to love or someone to love you. And then I thought about the solution, because how about rolling them into one? Because the someone to love and the someone to love you, why can't that be you? Or let me put it in the words that came to me last night, why can't that be me? In other words, if I just love myself, there's someone loving me. And if I just love me, there's me having someone to love. And so I'm getting chills from head to toe. So maybe there's something to that. But, if we truly love ourselves, which is, my epiphany in the last 3 to 4 years, I finally love myself after beating the shit out of myself. All of a sudden, it seems like in that place, then we can love everyone else in our lives even better. And there's probably a pretty darn good chance they're going to love us even more or better.
Thank you for listening in today. We truly appreciate you taking the time to spend with us, and please tune in for the next episode. Until then, if you'd like to see where you are on your true self journey, go to shedandshinepodcast.com to take the true self assessment and receive personalized guidance. If you're all ready to begin your inner world journey with Rob and myself, please join us for the next round of the 10 Disciplines group coaching program. We wish you all the best in freeing your true self. Stay focused and much love.